His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, visited the General Headquarters of the Bahrain Defence Force (BDF). Upon arrival, His Majesty was received by BDF Commander-in-Chief Field Marshal Sheikh Khalifa bin Ahmed Al Khalifa. Also present to welcome His Majesty were Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Diab bin Sagr Naimi, along with senior officers. During a meeting with senior officers, His Majesty expressed his appreciation to the BDF Commander-in-Chief for his efforts in advancing and developing the BDF. His Majesty the King also expressed his appreciation to all members of the BDF, the National Guard and the Ministry of Interior for their efforts during the Kingdom's national celebrations, the 26th anniversary of His Majesty's accession to the throne and the Commemoration Day. His Majesty praised their continuous dedication to preserving national unity and defending Bahrain's achievements and gains and its people. His Majesty further commended its brave members of the BDF for their sincere service in all their duty locations, both within the Kingdom and abroad, for their noble efforts to protect the nation, support its successful civilizational journey, and safeguard its national unity. His Majesty highlighted their cooperation with other brotherly and friendly countries in promoting security and peace across the region, wishing all continued success and guidance. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, received Saudi Ambassador to Bahrain Naif bin Bandar Al Sideri at the BDF General Headquarters. His Majesty also received the Ambassador's son, Ahmed bin Naif Al Sideri, on the occasion of his graduation from the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, in the United Kingdom. His Majesty the King commended the historical ties between the two kingdoms. For his part, Ambassador Al Sideri expressed his sincere thanks to His Majesty the King for the meeting, wishing His Majesty continued health and well-being. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa chaired the weekly Cabinet meeting at Qutbiyya Palace. The Cabinet commended the outcomes of the national virtual exercise Azm al-Watan 1, the conclusion of which was witnessed by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. Reflecting on his recent visit to the Muharraq Nights Festival, His Royal Highness expressed appreciation to the residents of Muharraq, commending their hospitality and warm welcome to visitors from within Bahrain and abroad. The Cabinet also commended the events included within the Celebrate Bahrain season, which along with the Muharraq Nights Festival includes Hawa al-Manama and the Heritage Village, highlighting the high standard of organization and the efforts of the relevant authorities. On the occasion of the upcoming New Year, the Cabinet extended its best wishes to Bahrain and its people for their continued progress and prosperity. The Cabinet also wished all students in Bahrain success in their first semester examinations for the 2025-26 academic year. In cooperation with the legislative branch, the Cabinet decided to maintain electricity and water tariffs for the first and second consumption tiers for citizens' primary residences and to postpone any changes on the mechanisms of electricity and water subsidies for citizens' primary residences until further study is conducted. The Cabinet then approved several initiatives to adjust the Kingdom's financial position in support of its citizens as follows. Reducing administrative expenses by 20% across all government entities while maintaining the quality of services provided to Bahraini citizens. The Cabinet tasked the Minister of Finance and National Economy with taking the necessary measures. Increase the contributions of government-owned companies to the Kingdom's general budget. Referring a draft law to the legislative branch to impose 10% tax on the profits of local companies whose annual revenues exceed 1 million Bahraini dinars or net annual profits exceed 200,000 Bahraini dinars based on agreements with the legislative branch. The tax will be applied on any amount following the 200,000 Bahraini dinars benchmark. The move aims to promote the diversification of income sources with the objective of implementing the draft law in 2027 and tasking the Minister of Finance and National Economy to take the necessary measures. Referring a draft law to the legislative branch to increase selective levy on soft drinks based on coordination with the legislative branch. The Cabinet tasked the Minister of Finance and National Economy with taking the necessary measures. Measures to enhance the utilization of undeveloped investments lands with existing infrastructure services through the introduction of a monthly fee of 100 fils per square metre with the aim of implementation in January 2027. The Cabinet tasked the Ministry of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture with taking the necessary measures. The introduction of fees for sewage services, excluding citizens' primary residences, calculated at 20% of water consumption charges with the aim of implementation in January 2026. The Cabinet tasked the Ministry of Works with taking the necessary measures. A review of worker permit and healthcare fees applicable to foreign nationals in support of prioritizing Bahraini citizens in employment. The revised fees will be implemented gradually over a 4-year period starting in January 2026, with domestic workers exempted. In this regard, the Cabinet tasked the Minister of Labour, the Minister of Legal Affairs and the Minister of Health with taking the necessary measures. The adjustment of natural gas prices for companies and factories to reflect the actual cost of consumption to be implemented gradually over 4 years starting in January 2026. The Cabinet tasked the Minister of Oil and Environment with taking the necessary measures in this regard. The development of mechanism for determining fuel prices. The Cabinet tasked the Minister of Oil and Environment with taking the necessary measures in this regard. Maintaining the electricity and water tariffs for the first and second tier for citizens' primary residences, taking into account extended families residing within a single household. The Cabinet also agreed to postpone any changes on the mechanisms of electricity and water subsidies for citizens' primary residences until further study is conducted, and agreed to amend the electricity and water consumption tariffs for other categories with implementation scheduled for January 2026. In this regard, the Minister of Electricity and Water Affairs and the Minister of Social Development were tasked with taking the necessary measures. Streamlining and enhancing the efficiency of government procedures that support investment to attract foreign investment and strengthen the role of the private sector. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa met with Speaker of the Council of Representatives Ahmed bin Salman Al Msallam and Chairman of the Shura Council Ali bin Saleh Al Saleh, who were accompanied by their respective deputies and members of both bureaus and the two councils at Qadabiyah Palace. His Royal Highness affirmed Bahrain's commitment to implementing national plans and initiatives aligned with a comprehensive vision aimed at enhancing government work streams. His Royal Highness underscored that citizens are the cornerstone of Bahrain's progress in line with the directives of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness emphasized the importance of cooperation between the executive and legislative branches to serve Bahrain and its citizens. His Royal Highness stressed the need to advance this partnership, highlighting its role in driving the implementation of plans and initiatives that benefit all Bahrain residents. His Royal Highness highlighted the importance of strengthening social services, enhancing support programs and optimizing national resources to ensure Bahraini citizens are prioritized in services and entitlements in accordance with royal directives. His Royal Highness noted that through constructive cooperation with the legislative branch, the Cabinet decided to maintain existing electricity and water tariffs for the first and second tiers for citizens' primary residences and to defer the development of related support mechanisms pending further study. His Royal Highness stressed the importance of sustained partnership between the executive and legislative branches in reaffirming the commitment to safeguarding public funds and preventing the misuse of resources, thereby enhancing spending efficiency and the service of the public interest and Bahrain's far-reaching objectives. His Royal Highness also noted that the Cabinet approved several initiatives aimed at adjusting Bahrain's fiscal situation whilst ensuring the continuity of support for Bahraini citizens. His Royal Highness expressed his appreciation to the legislative branch for its constructive cooperation during the joint meetings between the executive and legislative branches concerning the package of initiatives designed to enhance financial stability and guarantee sustained support for citizens. For their part, Al-Msallam and As-Saleh expressed their gratitude and appreciation to His Royal Highness for his unwavering commitment to strengthening cooperation between Bahrain's executive and legislative branches in support of achieving Bahrain's desired goals and ensuring prosperity for all. The Minister of the Prime Minister's Court is Sheikh Isa bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Deputy Prime Minister Sheikh Khalid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Interior General Sheikh Rashid bin Abdullah Al Khalifa, the Minister of Finance and National Economy Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Bin Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa yesterday attended the 4th edition of the Muharraq Nights Festival held as part of the Celebrate Bahrain season. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister toured the festival and the activities that showcase the depth of Muharraq's historical and cultural heritage and offers visitors an authentic cultural experience. His Royal Highness outlined that the Kingdom of Bahrain's historical sites, heritage, buildings and traditional markets represent key attractions that support the tourism sector and strengthen its contribution to the kingdom's comprehensive development, led by His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister affirmed that the kingdom continues to invest in preserving and showcasing its cultural heritage through diverse events, while encouraging community engagement and private sector participation in the tourism sector. His Royal Highness highlighted that the Muharraq Nights Festival is one of the kingdom's prominent cultural and tourism events, reflecting the rich historical legacy of Muharraq and reinforcing its position as a tourism destination. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister commended its outstanding organization of the festival, as well as the events and landmarks it features. His Royal Highness noted that the hospitality extended by the homeowners participating in the Muharraq Nights Festival reflected the community spirit of the festival and added to its success. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister also commended the efforts of the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities and the Ministry of Tourism in organizing the festival and expressed his appreciation for the vital role played by the private sector in supporting the Celebrate Bahrain season. Several senior officials also attended the festival. The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, won the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Sports Award for 2025 in the Arab Sports Personality category in recognition of his outstanding contributions and influential efforts in developing sport and promoting its developmental role at the regional and international levels during the ceremony held in Dubai as part of the World Sports Summit with the participation of an elite group of sports leaders, decision makers, experts and sports stars from around the world. The summit is one of the largest global sports gatherings and it's held under the slogan Uniting the World Through Sport. The award ceremony was attended by the Crown Prince of Dubai, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Crown Prince of the Emirate of Fujairah His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Hamad bin Mohammed Al Sharqi, the Second Deputy Ruler of Dubai His Highness Sheikh Ahmed bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Chairman of the General Sports Authority and President of Bahrain Olympic Committee His Highness Sheikh Khalid bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the President of the Dubai Sports Council His Highness Sheikh Mansour bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the President of FIFA Gianni Infantino and a number of senior officials from around the world. His Highness received the award from the Second Deputy Ruler of Dubai. His Highness winning the award confirms his skills and strategic vision which have contributed to qualitative shifts in the Bahraini sports through his continuous support for the development of the sports system, youth empowerment and creating champions, in addition to his many contributions to enhancing Bahrain's presence in regional and international sporting events. His Highness also participated in the World Sports Summit as a keynote speaker in a panel discussion entitled Leadership from the Front Lines, Discipline of Champions, in which His Highness reviewed the successes achieved in endurance sports and triathlons as well as the sporting achievements of Bahrain in various games at the international and global levels. His Highness affirmed that the sporting achievements in Bahrain were thanks to the support of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister. His Highness noted that investment in youth and sports has been and continues to be a strategic choice that consolidated Bahrain's position on the regional and international sports map. His Highness praised the real added value that this summit represents for global sports, appreciating the great efforts made by the UAE under the leadership of the UAE President His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan and the UAE Vice President and Prime Minister His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, alongside the prominent role played by the Crown Prince of Dubai, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum in organising and hosting major international sporting events. His Highness affirmed that this tireless work and strategic vision have established Dubai's position as a global centre for sports and a unifying platform for dialogue, exchange of experiences and shaping the future of sports.
Let me focus on leadership, which is key. And with this word, I would define it with one simple word, which is discipline. Discipline sums up everything. Makes you a champion, makes you unique, makes you outstanding, and makes you move out and detach from the pack. Or else, you're gonna be just an ordinary person. So you should have a mindset of, am I even a human? If you start your day asking yourself that question, then I guarantee you, you are one of those special 8 billion people in planet Earth. Let me refer to my elder brother, His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad. He is our champion behind all of that achievement in the Formula One sector. And congratulations to him and the team from Formula One by creating Bahrain as a motorsport hub. We started Formula One in 2004 and shows you clearly with patience and strategy. Now we are holding on to something, holding on to a jewel that is really making Bahrain recognizable. You mentioned the word victorious. Victorious is a chain of teams that I have created with my team in terms of endurance, in cycling, in in horse, equestrian sports, in football, and in many different entities. And Victorious is not just a team, it's a identity that I'm building. For Bahrain, we always seek for more, for the better. We never look back. We always look forward, and we will always be performing at our best, and we will be conquering a lot of podiums. That's for sure. For me, I am the same case. I'm a Bahrain's soldier. I'll be carrying the flag everywhere I go. I won the World Championship twice. I'm looking to win the World Championship a third time or maybe a fourth time, and looking forward to always perform at my best, regardless the result. Like my colleagues here and I mean, fantastic athletes from around the world. They always do the same. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's how do you perform. I'm a believer that silver, bronze medal, fourth, fifth place, all of it is an outcome. But gold is a mindset. And I wanted to build that deep inside my athletes' hearts and minds, that we only accept gold. And this way, we engineer their thinking, their day-to-day training, and their preparation physically and mentally for that event. It have given us a lot of positive outcomes. Bahrain we have doubled up our medal counts. We are the #1 Arab nation in the Olympics.
The representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, continues to cement his position as one of the most prominent Arab names in endurance sports through a sporting career full of achievements and international participation. From the city of Dubai, His Highness made a distinguished appearance at the World Sports Summit, where he was honored with the Arab Sports Personality Award in recognition of his sporting career and international achievements. More in this report.
From endurance fields to podiums, the representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, has charted an exceptional sporting career, marked by a spirit of challenge and achievements that bear the hallmark of Bahrain's distinguished presence on the world stage. As part of this ongoing presence, His Highness made a notable appearance at the World Sports Summit hosted by Dubai to discuss the future of sports and its role in the development and promoting innovation and sustainability in the sports sector. His Highness was honored with the Arab Sports Personality Award in recognition of his remarkable sporting career and global achievements in endurance sports, as well as his contribution to promoting the status of sports. In recent years, His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa has made a remarkable achievement by winning the World Endurance Championship twice in a row, after fierce competition in one of the most prestigious equestrian championships, which requires high physical and mental readiness and great endurance, an achievement that reflects his continued presence on the world stage. His Highness's achievements are not limited to equestrian sports, as he has competed in international triathlon competitions and participated in the Ironman Championship, one of the most challenging sports events in the world. His Highness has also competed in golf tournaments, demonstrating the diversity of his sporting interests. Amidst the continued interest in endurance sports worldwide, all eyes are now on the next stage of His Highness's career, which reflects his renewed ambition and Bahrain's honourable representation in international forums.
The Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Global Sports Award celebrates excellence and advances the development of sports. The award is a leading platform for honouring sporting achievements at the local, Arab and global levels, establishing a culture of excellence and supporting initiatives that advance sports. Under the theme Uniting the World Through Sports, the World Sports Summit kicked off, organised by the Dubai Sports Council. More than 1,500 sports leaders, stars, legends, experts and decision makers participated in the summit, which will continue until December the 30th in Medina Jumeirah. The Representatives Council Speaker Ahmed Limsalem praised the cooperation between the legislative and executive authorities and their commitment to the principle of consensus and the achievement of the public good for the kingdom and its citizens in implementation of the royal vision. Limsalem appreciated the generous directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister regarding the continued development of government services provided to Bahraini citizens in accordance with the government's programme and the agreements between the executive and legislative authorities. He expressed gratitude to His Royal Highness for the government's decision not to change the first and second tier tariffs for electricity and water for citizens in their primary residences and to postpone the development of mechanisms to support electricity and water for citizens in their primary residences for further study. Limsalem affirmed that the continuation of joint cooperation for the good and benefit of the country and its citizens and the enactment of the necessary legislation to develop the financial situation of Bahrain while preserving the entitlements of citizens. The Shura Council Chairman Ali As-Saleh praised the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, affirming that they embodied the approach of fruitful and constructive cooperation between the legislative and executive authorities. As-Saleh explained that the Cabinet's decision not to change the first and second electricity and water tariffs for citizens in their primary residence and to postpone the development of electricity and water support mechanisms for further study reflects a wise and balanced vision that takes into account the requirements of citizens living stability and is in line with the approach of His Majesty the King and the government's decisions to enhance the quality of life and consolidate the principles of social justice. He affirmed the Shura Council's support for the initiatives approved by the Cabinet related to adjusting the financial situation and financing the continuity of support for citizens. As-Saleh stressed that the Council will continue its legislative role in promoting these national efforts in order to achieve financial stability, sustainability and preserve the developmental gains achieved by Bahrain. As part of the decisions approved by the Cabinet regarding the implementation of a package of initiatives aimed at improving the financial situation and ensuring continued support for citizens, a government press conference was held, attended by the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, the Minister of Municipalities and Agriculture, Engineer Wael bin Nasr Al Mbarak, the Minister of Oil and Environment, Special Envoy for Climate Affairs, Dr. Mohammed bin Mbarak bin Daina, the Minister of Works, Engineer Ibrahim bin Hassan, Hassan Al Hawaj, the Minister of Labour and Minister of Legal Affairs Yusuf bin Abdul Hussein Khalaf, the Minister of Electricity and Water Affairs Yasser bin Ibrahim Hmeidan, the Minister of Cabinet Affairs Hamad bin Faisal Al Malki, the Minister of Information Dr. Ramzan bin Abdullah Naimi, and the Minister of Social Development Osama bin Salah Al Alawi. The Minister of Information welcomed the ministers and representatives of local newspapers, noting that this conference was held to announce the Cabinet's decisions regarding the implementation of a package of initiatives aimed at developing the financial situation and ensuring the continuity of support directed to citizens as part of the government's approach based on communication with citizens and the media. During the conference, the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, affirmed that based on the vision of His Majesty the King and in accordance with the directives of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, work is continuing to develop the government services provided to citizens. He also affirmed that the growth witnessed in all areas is the result of the leadership and vision of His Majesty and the directives of His Royal Highness on the importance of planning and adherence to the principles in the National Action Charter and the Constitution. He pointed out that all initiatives and decisions are not intended to improve public finances, to consolidate stability and achieve greater prosperity for citizens. The Minister also noted that the Cabinet's meeting approved a number of initiatives aimed at developing the financial situation and ensuring the continuity of support for citizens. He also pointed out that based on the constructive cooperation with the Legislative Authority, the Cabinet decided not to change the first and second tier tariffs for electricity and water for citizens in their primary residence and to postpone the development of mechanisms to support electricity and water for citizens in their primary residence for further study. He reviewed Bahrain's economic and financial performance and highlighted the developments in public finances over the past years. The Minister affirmed that the Cabinet decisions reflect the government's commitment to improving the financial situation and ensuring continued support for citizens. Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa also explained that a draft law will be referred to the Legislative Authority to increase the selective tax on soft drinks. The Minister of Cabinet Affairs Hamad Al Malki noted that the Cabinet approved a number of initiatives aimed at improving the financial situation and ensuring the continuity of support for citizens. He noted that the Cabinet decided not to change the first and second tier tariffs for electricity and water for citizens in their primary residence and to postpone the development of mechanisms to support electricity and water for citizens in their primary residence for further study. The Minister noted that these initiatives had been discussed within the framework of constructive cooperation with the Legislative Authority and that these meetings had witnessed substantive discussions. He noted that these initiatives are part of a comprehensive vision to adjust the overall financial situation and ensure the continued provision of support to citizens. The Minister affirmed that efforts are continuing to enhance Bahrain's position as a preferred destination for investment, with initiatives including facilitating government procedures that support investment, increasing their effectiveness to attract foreign investment, and strengthen the role of the private sector. The Minister of Municipalities Affairs and Agriculture, Engineer Wa'il Mbarak, explained that the use of undeveloped investment land with all infrastructure services will be improved through a monthly fee of 100 fils per square meter, with the aim of it being implemented in January 2027. He pointed out that the collection mechanism will either be when applying for a building permit or when selling the property. The Minister said that in order to ensure the sustainability of infrastructure, it has been decided to introduce fees for sanitation services, with the exception of citizens' primary residences, at a rate of 20% of water consumption to be applied in January 2026. The Minister of Labour and the Minister of Legal Affairs Yusuf Khalaf then noted that among the Cabinet's decisions today was a review of work permits and healthcare fees for foreigners to support the priority of Bahraini citizens in employment. This review will be implemented gradually over 4 years starting in January 2026, with the exception of domestic workers. It is worth noting that these fees have not been amended since 2008. Khalaf indicated that this comes in parallel with the continuation implementation of programs to employ and train citizens, further reinforcing the priority of Bahrainis in the labour market. Work permit fees for foreigners will be increased from 105 Bahraini dinars to 125 Bahraini dinars, a 25% increase over 4 years, and monthly fees will be increased from 10 BD to 30, also gradually over 4 years. Healthcare fees for foreign workers will be increased from 72 Bahraini dinars to 144. The Minister of Oil and Environment and Special Envoy for Climate Affairs, Dr. Mohammed bin Daina, then indicated that regarding initiatives related to natural gas for companies, previous decisions made in 2015 in this regard, along with local and global market data, were reviewed. It was decided to adjust the price of natural gas for companies and factories to reflect the actual cost of consumption effective January 2026. This adjustment will involve an annual increase of $0.50 starting in 2026 and continuing for 4 years. He noted that the objective of this adjustment is to promote energy efficiency in factories and facilities, conserve limited natural gas resources, incentivize factories to invest in renewable energy. He further explained that a mechanism for determining fuel prices for vehicles will be developed through the formation of a committee comprised of government entities and companies responsible for setting the monitoring petroleum product prices in the local market on a monthly basis. He clarified that the subsidized price of diesel for Bahraini fishermen will remain unchanged. Regarding electricity and water tariffs, the Minister of Electricity and Water Affairs, Yasser Hamdan, said that it was decided not to change the first and second tier tariffs for electricity and water for citizens in their primary residences and to adjust the electricity and water consumption tariffs for other categories with effect from January 2026. Regarding water, he noted that tariffs for all citizens will be fixed in the primary residence at the first and second consumption tiers, taking into account composed households. He emphasized that this initiative will contribute to sustaining the support directed to citizens and their primary residence while ensuring the continued efficient and effective provision of electricity and water services. The Minister of Social Development, Issam Al-Alawi, also said that the initiatives approved by the Cabinet aim to develop the financial situation and ensure the continuity of support directed to citizens. He noted that the Ministry is working in cooperation with the Minister of Electricity and Water and all relevant authorities on a mechanism to support several households regarding electricity and water, which will be announced soon. The Bahrain Tourism and Exhibitions Authority is organizing the second edition of the Hawa Al-Manama event, which will run until January the 15th, offering visitors a comprehensive experience that reflects Bahrain's authentic heritage in a distinctive modern style with the participation of 200 Bahraini projects. The event offers a wide range of activities that embody the history of Manama, as well as a variety of authentic Bahraini cuisine with a diverse selection of Bahraini and international restaurants and cafes to provide visitors with a comprehensive experience. To ensure the smooth flow of traffic and visitors, a number of parking spaces have been allocated, with over 4,000 parking spaces available near the event site. In its fourth edition, the Muharraq Nights Festival offers a comprehensive program of cultural and artistic events in a sustainable annual event that highlights national heritage in a contemporary manner. The festival is open to visitors until the end of this month, offering a wide range of experiences, exhibitions and artistic performances, including art, design, music, cuisine, cultural tours, interactive workshops, as well as literary and cultural events. Coinciding with Bahrain's National Day celebrations, the 5th edition of the National Day Festival, organized by the Ministry of Information at the Heritage Village in Ras Hayyan, continues. The festival is a comprehensive destination suitable for families, combining entertainment, culture and shopping. This year's edition also offers a number of daily events and cultural and artistic activities, confirming the festival's progress in terms of organization and the increase in participation and full groups, which consolidates the festival's position as a national and tourist destination.